We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Good morning. Today we're going to start our topic, that is drying. Drying has been covered in Mass Transfer Operation 2, subject of 6th semester. So these are the content of my presentation. So initially I will cover drying. What is drying? The importance of drying. Then difference between drying and evaporation. Then the equipments used for drying. And at last, references. So what is drying? So drying is a final removal of water from the material. We are providing heat to remove the moisture content, or we can say the water content present in the material. This is mostly the last stage of the manufacturing process. So in any of the industry, this can be the last process. In any of the manufacturing industry, we can say this is the last stage of the process. These are some of the examples of drying, like squeezing wetted sponge, adsorption by desiccant, and extraction. So these are the 3 examples, some of the few examples of drying. Moving ahead to the drying topic, these are the importance of the drying. So mostly in the pharmaceutical industries, drying has been carried out for the following reason. First one is to avoid or eliminate moisture, which may lead to corrosion and decrease the product or drug stability, to improve or keep the good properties of the material, example, flowability, compressibility, to maintain the good properties of the material. Then to reduce the transportation cost of the material. Likewise, if we have to transport the liquids, it will cost more than the solid. So to reduce the transportation cost of the large volume of the material, we are using the drying operation. Then to make the material easy or more suitable for the handling, then we are using drying in most of the operations like evaporation, filtration, crystallization operation. So these are the some importance of the drying operation. Some of the students are having query that what is the difference between drying and evaporation. As you are knowing that evaporation we have already studied in heat transfer operation, and drying we are studying in this mass transfer operation subject. So moving towards the difference between drying and evaporation. In the drying process, the main operation usually carried out on solid materials, like for example, powders or products. And in evaporation processes, the main operation usually carried out in liquid materials, example, solution or products. Drying in most of the cases means the removal of relatively small amounts of water from solids. It is relatively small amounts of water from the solid materials. It means we are going to evaporate or going to extract a small amount of water from the solid material. But in opposition of that, in evaporation, it includes the removal of large amounts of water from the solution. Getting this? In more cases, drying involves the removal of water at temperature below its boiling point, whereas Evaporation means the removal of water by boiling the solution. At last, in drying, water is usually removed by circulating air over the material in order to carry away the water vapor, right? While in evaporation, water is removed from the material as pure water vapor mixed with other gases. So this is the basic difference between drying and evaporation. Now moving ahead to the equipments used for this drying operation. So these are some of the dryers which are used in industries to remove moisture from the substances. So drum dryer, spray dryer, freeze dryer, tray dryer, fluidized bed dryer, and vacuum dryer. So starting with the spray dryer, this is the schematic diagram of the spray dryer. The spray dryer provides a large surface area that you can see in the picture for the heat and mass transfer by atomizing the liquid to small droplets. Likewise, it is converting the liquid into the small droplets. These are the sprayed into the steam of hot air so that each droplets dry to a solid particles. Getting this? We are taking liquid into the spray dryer. It will convert the liquid into the small droplets, and by providing the heat or hot air, we are converting the droplets into the solid particles. The drying chamber resembles the cyclone, ensuring good circulation of air to facilitate heat and mass transfer, and that dried particles are separated by the centrifugal action. Spray dryer can be operated efficiently at various feed rates. Urea manufacturing is the best example of the spray dryer. This is the explanation of the spray dryer, which I have already explained to you. Moving ahead to the second one, that is freeze dryer. Schematic diagram of the freeze dryer has been shown over here. So freeze drying is a process used to dry extremely heat sensitive material. Getting this? Those material who are extremely heat sensitive, we have to use freeze dryer for that. Freeze drying will not convert the properties of that material. Rest of the dryers, in the rest of the dryers, there are possibilities for the conversion of the properties of the raw product, right? But freeze dryer is extremely used to dry the heat sensitive materials. It also allows the drying without excessive damage of proteins, blood products, and even microorganisms, which retain a small but significant viability. If you have visited in market in nowadays, you will get a freeze dried products. What it means? The food products have been dried using the freeze dryer. So the major component of that product will remain as it is after drying. Okay. Only the moisture content or water content present in the product will be evaporated. So in this process, the initial liquid solution or suspension is frozen. The pressure above the frozen state is reduced and the water removed by sublimation. This is the main process of freeze dryer. Okay. Thus a liquid to vapor transition takes place, but here three states of matter involved. First, liquid to solid, and after that, solid to vapor. I hope all of you are getting about the freeze drying. This is what I have written over here. Third one is tray dryer. This is the schematic diagram of the tray dryer. In the tray dryer, air flows in the direction of the arrows over each shelf in turn. The wet material is sprayed on shallow trays resting on shelves. Electrical elements or steam heated pipes are positioned as shown so that the air is periodically reheated after it has cooled by passage over the wet material on one shelf before it passes on the taps. On the next. This is the explanation about the tray dryer. You can have a view of that. Next one is fluidized bed dryer. You can see the schematic diagram of fluidized bed dryer. Before moving to fluidized bed dryer, can anyone tell me what do you mean by fluidized? Anyone? Okay, fine. Moving ahead, fluidized means what? Fluidized means something that behaves like a liquid. Something that behaves like a liquid, that is known as fluidized. The fluidized bed dryer, in the fluidized bed dryer, the mixture of solids and gas behaves like a liquid and solid are called fluidized. It proves good contact between hot air and particles to obtain efficient drying. As you can see in the schematic diagram, the hot air is passed through a mesh which supports a conical vessel with a porous base. This vessel is filled with a powder to be dried. We are pouring the powder which we want to dry into that vessel. It has wheels and can be clipped to the central plate by means of rapid acting ring closure. So this is just a basic explanation about fluidized bed dryer. Moving ahead, vacuum dryer. This is the schematic diagram which I have shown here, that is of vacuum dryer. Vacuum dryer is a good example of conduction dryer. The vacuum oven consists of a jacketed vessel to withstand vacuum within the oven. There are supports for the shells giving a larger area for conduction heat transfer. The oven can be closed by a door. The oven is connected through a condenser and liquid receiver to a vacuum pump. The operating pressure can be as low as 0.03 bar, at which pressure water boils at 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. This is a basic explanation about the vacuum dryer. So here I am ending my session, concluding that what is drying? Drying is removal of moisture from a solid substance. And how we can remove moisture from the solid substance? Using different dryers. So at last, I want to conclude that I have taken this content from Mass Transfer Operation book of Robert E. Trebal. Thank you so much all for the patiently listening to my session. If you are having any query, you can write a mail to me on miral.thakkar@snpitrc.ac.in. Again, thank you so much.